how was your overall experience with us? We would love to know some feedback from you.
Okay, initially I started my AMC preparation in the mid of 2023. By that time, I was not familiar with the AMC pathway, so I contacted GooCampus through an Instagram ad. And after connecting with them, I learned about the pathway and I started preparing my MCQ with the coaching under Dr. K.P. Balan. And initially, it was so smooth. All my paperworks were done by GooCampus, and all my doubts and theories were cleared by Dr. K.P. Balan on time. So it was really nice to have such a coordinated effort from all of you. So that's why I am able to secure a RMO position right now.
Like, how was the career development package provided by GooCampus and the interview preparation help that was given? What was your overall experience with it?
Okay. Talking about my interview preparation with Dr. K.P. Balan, she had a wonderful section for me where she taught me about all the possible interview questions. And for my interview, the most of the questions were the same that was taught by her. So it made me much easier to crack my interviews as well.
Oh, that's really good to know. And I think also once you gave the Bunbury interview, the Midland interview was much easier for you to give as well, wasn't it? Because I remember you messaging me right away saying, KP, all the questions that you gave me came again with the interview and it went easy. I think that's what you said, wasn't it? Yeah. That's really good. They were the feedback I got was that they really liked the way you gave the interview. And how it went for you as well. So that was really good to hear. And I'm very glad that we were able to also help you through the process and also guide you through how to conduct it. Now you will know exactly what to do when you go switch jobs or when you want to go for future jobs. You will know exactly what to do.
True. So, Doctor, I mean, as we are already in this phase right now, where you have, finally, got placed as an RMO, and you have already completed your AMC 1. So, what were the challenges that you had faced initially while preparing for AMC, and how did you overcome them, basically? So, and also, if, let's say, hypothetically, if there is a chance for you to go back and change something about your preparation, what would that be?
The challenges faced by me during my initial stage of preparation is firstly about the paperwork, because I was not familiar with the pathway, so I don't know how to build a portfolio and to do my epic verification, and all that were done by GooCampus. So it was really helpful for me. And secondly, the next challenge I faced by me is how to prepare well, because I don't know from where to start and where to end. I don't know which books to be followed and how to start my preparations. And by that time, Dr. K.P. Balan and her team guided me throughout my journey. She taught me how to start preparation, and actually I developed a timetable based on her guidance. Then I started to prepare subjects and done a lot of recos as well, and I followed the way she taught me, and that really helped me to crack my AMC MCQ exam as well.
That's wonderful. And when it comes to the preparation, also something else that we usually see is students getting burned out in mid of preparation. So how did you overcome that? Because as you know, AMC is a very long pathway, and it requires a lot of determination and that hard work. So how did you ideally manage that? And I believe during the time of your preparation you were working as well. So how were you able to manage both?
My preparation time, I was working as an RMO, and I had a 8-hour shift per day. And after that shift, I came home, and I usually I've gone through some 2 or 3 hours of preparation. I have daily I had my revisions. I never let it back, so that by the time when I returns home, then I started preparation, and I will definitely spend nearly 3 hours a day for my preparation. And by the time when it was around my examination, I resigned from that job, and I prepared thoroughly for the other 2 months, where I spent nearly 10 hours per day, and by the last month I have gone through all recalls, as much as recalls I can, and I still remember that I have done nearly 10 years of recalls by that 1 month of period.
Oh, okay. That's
And I think one advice I wanted to ask was, what would you advise candidates that are working and preparing for the AMCs? Because we have a combination of candidates. What would you advise them who are preparing for the AMC and CQ? Would you advise them, yes, you can work and study? And if you can, what would you advise them to do while working and studying for the MCQ?
Candidates who are working as well as studying, I advise them to sincerely to follow a pathway. You should have to practice daily. Try to spend at least 2 hours a day for revising or doing some questions. Do as much as questions you can. I still remember that I used to do nearly 100 questions a day during my preparation time. So definitely I advise the future candidates to follow a timetable and to do and strictly follow a timetable and do as much as you can, and try to spend at least 2 hours per day so that you can crack it easily.
okay. So moving on to the next part. So AMC 1 is done. You have given the tips and tricks for people to clear the examination. So now comes the most hardest part, I believe, that you were in, job application process. How was the overall experience through the whole process? Like, what was it basically that you were going through? I know a bit of it, as I was interacting with you on mostly a daily basis. So what was your overall experience with the job applications? What did you expect, and what was the reality? And how tough was the applications? What was the process? And is there any tips that you could give for future applicants?
Yeah. Actually, it was a really tough phase for me. I cleared my AMC MCQ exam 6 months back. After that, soon I cleared my OET exam and I started to looking for jobs. And I had attended 3 interviews by this time, and right now I got a job. By this time, I had made nearly 500 plus applications. I emailed the medical workforces of every hospital, and I had done as much as I can do to get into that pathway. But ultimately, I came to know that right now the situation is much changed, and there's a big competition right now. So I advise the future candidates to keep on applying, apply as much as you can, and to try to build your CV as well as, and also to emphasize on your cover letter as well.
That's okay. Dr. Balan, anything on that?
I think the other question I wanted to ask is, what would you say, I guess from your experience with interacting with HR, like multiple hospital HR departments, right? With all the applications and rejection letter. What would you advise future candidates to do when they do face that? How did you overcome the rejection letters? Because a lot of candidates feel lost, and a lot of candidates feel discouraged, and they feel quite demotivated. How would you describe, what would you advise them to overcome and keep applying for jobs?
Actually, it's initially very discouraging. We ultimately we will get demotivated because every day when we go through our emails, we get a lot of rejections. One day I have to see nearly 7 to 10 rejections in my mailbox. So by that time, I felt little disappointed, but I know that it was not the end of the life. So I kept on applying. I tried as much as I can. In the meantime, I tried to develop my CV as well. Every month I used to change my CV. I had done some additions as well as omissions. I tried to change my cover letters as well. Then I tried to contact a lot of hospitals, and most of the hospitals told me to try to apply through the online portal only. And initially it was very tough for me because from everywhere I got rejections, but still I kept on applying, and I feel that uh, ultimately we all get demotivated by these rejections, but it is not the end. So keep on applying, and one day we will be able to find a job.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I would definitely, praise Dr. Arya for that, because there was a time when she used to get those rejections, and she used to call me, and she used to tell me, Vipin, this, I have got this response from this hospital. So initially, I mean, the first 2-3 months we were keeping on applying, but then after a point, even I also felt that, okay, might doctor should take a break and then come back to it. But she was not. She was like, no, I'm just going to continue with the same thing. I'm going to keep on applying every day. Even the world ends, I'm going to apply for the jobs, and I'm going to do it until I get it. So I guess that is one powerful trait that any applicant should possess in order to be successful in this process.
I think one more thing about Dr. Arya that I want to commend you on, that I've spoken to Vipin about, is that you were very sure, and I think this is something that I say at the beginning of every course, that you were very sure that you wanted to work in Australia. You didn't divide your attention to NEET PG. You didn't divide your attention to UK, US. You were very sure of the pathway, and you stuck to the pathway, and you were very patient about the pathway. You didn't take it personally. I remember you used to message me about it, and you used to take all my advices and you went with it. But what I liked about you was that you were very certain about what you wanted to do and what your pathway is. And I think that's a very good quality, and I think you should always have that quality even when you go for specialist training and when you're choosing your specialty training as well, because there's so many options. There's so many things you can do, right? So knowing yourself, I think, was a great thing that I think you took to heart, and I really commend you for, because it's a long pathway. It's an expensive and long pathway, and you really stuck by it. And I think that's and it's paying off. It paid off, and it's doing very well. Perfect. I guess the other question I wanted to ask was, is there anything you would change in your job search?
Definitely not, because I think that I had gone to the right pathway. That's why I got 3 interview calls. So there's nothing to change. Keep on applying, keep on applying, and one day we will get a right job.
And you got a call back from Midland, Bunbury, and what was the other hospital? It was one in Victoria, isn't it?
Yes.
Which one was the one? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So that was the other thing. You didn't narrow it down to a particular state. You also reached out to multiple states across Australia in between your job, and also you continued working at the same time to keep the recency of practice. And I think that's not limiting yourself to one state also increases your chance and probability, which is really, really good. And your flexibility to do that. I think that's what all HR departments want, right? They want a flexible doctor who can, move around, do the shifts, and cover all the spots that are available. So yeah, no, that's absolutely wonderful. Vipin, over to you.
True. That I mean, as you were saying, with what Dr. Arya did, I guess that's the right thing to do, because even while she was applying for jobs, even when she completed her AMC one, that was the phase when the opportunities for people who have completed AMC one, it was comparatively getting less in Australia. But still, she had that determination. She had that patience. I mean, patience is, the core element, I would say. Without that patience, she, it would have been impossible for her also to be in this position. So I guess that was a great thing that she followed and she did the right way.
Absolutely. Would you recommend, what would you recommend to future candidates that are thinking about, I guess, when you started this entire journey, were you always for Australia, or did you ever think UK, US, PLAB, India? How did you decide that you wanted to go to Australian pathway? How did you decide Australia versus the rest of the world where you wanted to work?
It was my personal decision. Right now, during my not right now, during my internship time, I was planning to write PLAB. By that time, I cleared my IELTS and started preparing for my PLAB. And I was also planning to book for PLAB 1. But by that time, I don't know, ultimately I changed my mind to get into AMC, because by that time, everyone were thinking about AMC, and some of my friends' opinion is that MC is much better than PLAB because of the better work-life balance there, and also the climate there. That's why I opted for AMC. But when I started preparing for AMC, I came to know that AMC is not that much difficult. It is much easy. We can do it through proper guidances as well as through proper practice.
True. Yeah, when you're talking about climate, I'm just putting across there, the insects and animals that you see in Australia, you won't see it in UK.
Excuse me, our insects are just fine. Thank you very much. We have cuddly animals as well, like the koala. So, thank you very much.
So Dr. Evan, coming towards the end, what would be that one piece of advice that you would give medical graduates who are, feeling discouraged about their prospects in Australia? What is it that drove you? You wrote your AMC one. As you said, you applied for more than 500 plus job vacancies, and still you cracked it. So, what is that one piece of advice that you want to give them?
Initially, before I started applying for jobs, everyone told me that getting job with the MC1 and being overseas, it's very difficult. But I kept on applying, and I had applied as much as I can. Then I realized that it is not that much difficult, because I think that after applying, by the next month I got an interview from Adelaide, and later after that 2 months later I got another interview. Then I realized that it's not that much difficult. It's still now it's possible to get an interview, but what we need is patience, and we should have to be constant in our goal, and we should have to try to apply. Never get devastated, and try keep on applying.
True. Okay, so keep on applying is the great. Dr. Balan, anything on that?
I guess the only thing I want to, how would you rate the overall experience that you've had with KP Balan and GooCampus so far? How would you rate, or what would you tell your peers and your friends about us?
Actually, I definitely the coaching by Dr. K.P. Balan and her team was great, because whenever I had a doubt, we had an active WhatsApp group, and I just put there on the WhatsApp group, and she will be available there 24/7. And if we put one question, she will be replying back within seconds, and she was available there for us at any time. So it was very helpful. We can approach her at any time, and she will reply, she will give the answers, and she will also motivate us. So it was a nice journey with her.
Oh, thank you. And I guess this wouldn't have been possible without GooCampus as well. So I'd like to thank them as well for creating this platform, which it goes a long way.
True. I mean, I ought to ask that as well. So, like, how was your overall experience with GooCampus as well? Like, me, Aditya.
I already mentioned that I was not familiar with the AMC pathway, and GooCampus only guided me throughout the pathway. GooCampus helped me, and GooCampus connected me with Dr. K.P. Balan as well. So definitely GooCampus is also having a vital role in my journey as well.
Thank you for that.
Look forward to working with you here, Arya, and we look forward to supporting you while you're in Australia, and especially when you're in Western Australia. So I'll be your IMG representative as well, and also I'll be your. Not really sure yet, but we'll see what happens at the federal level. Yeah, and in the hospital, you can always find me. Jack, everyone knows how to find me on our WhatsApp. We also have a WhatsApp group for IMGs for our hospital. So I will add you to, when closer to the date, I'll add you to the group as well. So if you have any questions about moving, you have any questions about, where to get settled, you can just hit it up. And there are lots of IMGs on the group. We have about 40, 50 IMGs there that we have a chat with. And our hospital is 80% IMG, so you'll feel just you'll be well supported in the hospital, and most of our doctors are also IMGs, and we're very IMG. We advocate, like you met Michelle. Michelle is an IMG herself, so Michelle and Matt, and as you met them, they are also very much pro IMG as well. So we look forward to having you at our hospital, and once you closer to the date, I'll see you in Australia.
That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.